Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So welcome to episode 1 of my new pure survival series. This is going to be based on survival games, believe it or not, and I just thought, what better game to start off the series with than Scum Survival, which I think is a fantastic survival game. It's definitely come a long way since its first release into early access. And, you know, the game is still in early access, so it's not without its bugs and its flaws in places. However, it's still very good and still very in-depth. So I thought, why not do a few episodes of Scum? So we've just started off by crafting just a few essentials. So we've just got an improvised rucksack, a bow and a few wooden arrows. We have spawned right up in the northeast area of the map, which is very cold. So we were just getting ourselves warm by the fire there, but I've just heard some wolves in the area. So I think we should probably get out of this area while we can. We're just going to loot around and try and find a few food sources while we head to a nearby town. So we're going to head to the nearby town, do a little bit of looting around and see if we can find any useful gear and maybe some warmer clothing. So I'll catch up with you guys once we get to that town. Okay, so we've made it to the town and we're still alive, which is always good. I'm hoping we're going to find some useful stuff here and hopefully not too many puppets. So for those of you who haven't played Scum, puppets are, I guess, dead inmates on the island. So we're basically on a prison island. It's like this weird underground snuff TV show called Scum TV, where prisoners are put on this island and you've got like this chip in the back of your head which basically controls the dead inmates and maybe inhabitants of the island, and they're basically trying to kill you. This is all being filmed by the Tech One Corporation while you're trying to survive on the island, and I do kind of like that story. I think it's quite cool. You can't leave the island because it is walled off, but even if you did try, I think that chip in the back of your head would probably explode and kill you. So there's some cool little elements there. Let's see if we can take this puppet out without getting hit by it. If we do this right, we should be able to kill it in a couple of arrows. It is a one-shot kill pretty much to the head of these puppets if we were to get a headshot. Just want to get my arrows back from this guy here. I can't quite get the second arrow. I'm going to have to search him to be able to get it back. Well, these guys never really have anything decent on them when you search them anyway. All their clothing's pretty much ruined. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with searching these top buildings and kind of work our way around. I think that's probably the best idea. There's some money there. It's not useful yet, but once they implement the NPC traders into the game, which are coming quite soon, it will come in handy then. I'm hoping we'll be able to spend it at the traders to be able to buy resources and other essentials. I think we might cut these Christmas pants down into rags. The rags will come in handy in case we take any damage and we start to bleed. We can just use that as an improvised bandage for now until we find some better first aid gear. I'm not going to bother searching the attic in this one. It's usually only rubbish up there anyway. Oh, that's a really good find actually. We've just found a hiking backpack. That's like one of the best backpacks pretty much in the game in terms of inventory space. Although if I find an assault backpack, I'd probably pick that one over the hiking backpack, just purely for the fact that it has less space in it, which means you're forced to make better decisions on the gear you carry and make sure you're not too heavy. Because the thing about these hiking backpacks is you can fill them up with so much stuff, your character gets quite heavy, and that can cause you to overexert yourself, not only using more stamina but also, I guess, really using your food and water up quicker that you've ate and drank. I did just find some screwdrivers there which will come in handy for lock picking, so if we come across any lockers that have, you know, the need to unlock them with a screwdriver and lockpick, then yeah, we can pick those now. So if we come across like a police station or go to a military area that has some of these locked lockers, then yeah, we'll be able to use that to pick the locks and hopefully find some better military gear. Let's continue searching these buildings anyway for food, water, and hopefully find some warmer clothing soon. I think the great thing about spawning in the colder region in this game is it does actually give you gloves, a hat, and like this hoodie, which is already a lot warmer than what you'd probably start off with if you were spawning down in more of the southern region of the map. Yeah, let's start with maybe the left side, I think, and we can work our way back round to the right on our way back out. So we search things like the garages. There's a chance that we may find some useful tools in here. Nothing in this one though. Now I've got to be careful for puppets in these. Sometimes you can have puppets spawning in them. There's some thread which we'll take. That will come in handy for if we find a needle we can make an improvised sewing kit. That means we'll be able to repair clothing. One, if we find clothing that's already damaged, or if we damage our clothing, we can repair it. Because when you damage your clothing, unfortunately it reduces the inventory space. Another backpack and a hat we've already got. Maybe I should search the attic. There's a couple of boxes. It's just crafting stuff like scrap metal. We'll take the extra rag for now. We can always drop some of this stuff if we start getting full on our inventory. We'll take stuff that may be useful for now. Rag strips. No, I don't need those. Not a lot of stuff here. So, oh, there's a vegetable patch here. We'll search for some vegetables. So, I am playing the game on vanilla settings, so it is currently the settings the developers have set really for the overall survival experience. Again, these could be tweaked by the developers. Now you can tweak the settings to your own liking in the game's ini files, but I don't mess around with that sort of stuff because I don't want to break anything. So what we found is we found a few lettuces here, which are going to be pretty good really, because they do hold quite a bit of water. So it's actually a good way to get some water. There's more vegetables over here. This looks like broccoli. And maybe carrots. Or could be parsnips. Yeah, carrots. Cool. So you do have to manage things like your vitamins and other macronutrients. So things like protein, carbohydrates, fats, sugars, that sort of thing. And if you eat too much bad food, it can make you quite unhealthy, which will have a negative impact on your character. And your character can actually get overweight and can cause, you know, health complications. So it will basically reduce your character's stats. So say if I was to get really fat from eating a lot of junk food, it's going to reduce the speed that I can run and climb at and things like that. So it's quite in-depth and quite clever, and that's one thing I like about Scum. You can search the hay bales, but usually it's only feathers. Yeah, I mean, if we hadn't already crafted some arrows, then potentially we could make some slightly better arrows by using the feathers, but because we've already got some arrows, there's no point in me doing that for now. I'm hoping we're going to actually find a better weapon. Oh, we found an axe here. I mean, that can be used as a melee weapon, but I tend to stay away from melee combat in the game because you can get hit quite easily by the puppets, and sometimes it can cause a fair bit of damage to you. So, oh, how come I didn't quite get up the ladder there? So I tend to try and stay away from melee combat and just use range combat if I can, if I need to, that is. You know, sometimes it's best off avoiding the puppets altogether in the early game if you can. Nothing really up here other than junk. Well, it's not really junk, but it's stuff that we don't necessarily need right now. So let's take a quick look at the cabbage. Yeah, so it's got a decent amount of water, and we've got quite a lot of carbs from those lettuces actually. Oh, it's not a lettuce, it's a cabbage. Well, there you go, same difference to me. Well, it's not the same difference, they're very different things, but very similar to a certain extent. Carrot also gives us a decent amount of nutrients as well. So yeah, so in here they've updated the whole system here a little while ago, which is better than the original system. So if we eat some of this cabbage, you'll see it's filling our stomach up here, and we have got a digestion system that we need to keep an eye on. So your character will need to use the toilet and stuff once the colon and bladder gets full. So yeah, you can see there the amount of water, carbs and protein we're getting, an overall energy that we'll get from digesting that. And it will take a while to digest some of the food, so you won't get kind of like instant gratification on the stats. But that's something to keep note of when you're playing the game if you're new to the game or if you haven't played it before. It's definitely important to take note of what you're eating and drinking. Just heard some wolves. Those wolves are tracking us. We're definitely not prepared to take on wolves. Raincoat there, so we can put that over the top of our clothing. So you can have like clothing layers, which is quite cool, but you will get too hot if you wear too much. And it does give us extra inventory space. And the fact that we're in quite a cold, icy location at the moment means it's not going to hurt for us to put on the raincoat right now. Halloween mask, no, don't need that. More rag strips. Well, those wolves are actually quite close now. Just want to make sure we're not going to get jumped by these wolves. Let's see if we can spot where they are. It sounds like they're over in this direction here. Where are you? Squint my eyes, see if I can see. Oh, I think I just seen some movement behind that rock. Yeah, there they are. 2 wolves. So usually if you've got like a rifle, they can take a couple of shots depending on the caliber of the rifle. So wooden arrow, not really gonna do a lot of damage against 2 wolves. We'll probably take a fair bit of damage if we was to get in a tussle with those at this point. So we're gonna avoid them, let them do their thing. They're not too close to us at this point, so we should be able to avoid their attention. And we'll just carry on doing a little bit of looting. I think a kilt might be a little bit too cold for me at this point. Nothing in here. Any meds in the cupboard in the bathroom? No, just more rag strips. We've already got gloves, so we're good for now. Let's move on. There's a well over there, but from my experience, usually these wells are dry. We'll probably work our way around and check that out a little bit later, but hoping we're going to find some food and drink in some of the houses around here. There should be a couple of shops here as well, hopefully. We might find some food and drink in those. In these sorts of buildings, there's usually going to be like tools, so we'll check, see if there's anything useful in here. Nails, don't really need those at the moment, I don't think. Maybe if we was to build a storage box, but we don't need to. Is that a puppet, aren't we? I think I just heard a puppet. A 2-2 rounds, tracer rounds, not the best, but okay if we find a hunting rifle. Another axe. Our axe has got more durability on it at the moment, though. Oh yeah, that puppet's right outside there. It sounds like it's getting a bit aggroed. I think it might have heard us. Alright, so let's figure out what we're going to do. I mean, we could try and let the puppet in and close the door behind us if we can manage to run out quick enough, but these puppets do actually run quite quick, so sometimes you can't shut the doors quick enough to be able to lock them in. Oh, actually, it sounds like she's not quite sure where we are. She's gone round that right side there. Let's see if we can sneak out and maybe kill the puppet before it knows we're here. Where are you? I know you're around here somewhere. There she is. Alright. We've got a good enough distance from it to be able to kill it. 2 arrows. Yeah, there we go. Job done. Let's get my arrows back real quick. Cool. One of these little outdoor offices. Like portable offices or whatever they are. Safety pin. Okay, we can craft that into a lockpick. Can hear more puppets. Yeah, there he is. Looks like there's maybe another little vegetable patch where he is as well. We'll go and check that in a bit. Ah, some better boots. Great. Better than these crappy canvas shoes I've got on. Wire, that might come in handy for crafting. Work helmet, nah. I mean, it will protect her head a little bit from kind of like blunt damage, but there's no point at the moment. This is keeping us warmer, the hat we got on right now, so. Bobby pin. Again, can be crafted into a lockpick, but I was hoping to find some food. Oh, here we go. It's kind of like a bread, I think. That's got quite a good amount of carbs in it and dietary fibre. Let's check it and see if it's... So it says it's raw, so I think it's kind of like a bread. I don't know. Well, we'll eat a little bit more of this cabbage while we're in here. Start getting some of that into our digestion system. Our energy and water at the moment is okay. Like, energy's 100%, water's 107%. We'll slowly go up as we digest the food, although we do need to keep an eye on needing to use the toilet, because if we go over the point where our bladder or our colon's too full, the game forces you to use the toilet. At least it used to. So I like to try and manage my digestive system, use the toilet as and when I can. The game doesn't always allow you to use the toilet until you reach a certain point, so we were able to pee there, so that's good. Our bladder's been emptied now. We ain't gonna get stuck in the animation of needing the loo, because if you're getting attacked by puppets, you're in trouble. Right, let's see if we can take this puppet out that's over here without him getting too close to us. The only thing about using the bow is, like, you've got this little white dot on the screen, but as soon as you draw the bow, it does actually make the little white dot disappear, so it just makes using the bow a little bit more challenging until you find a better bow that's maybe got like a scope on it. But this is like an improvised bow, so we don't have a scope for it. So what are these? These look like they might be maybe onions. They look like they could be carrots again, or maybe parsnips or something like that. Root vegetables. Well, not many at the moment. Oh, there we go. Parsnips. Good. So you can pretty much in this game live off just the land. You know, you can go off and find vegetables. You can find things like mushrooms and fruit in the wild. So there's quite a lot of food you can find just from foraging in Scum, which I really like. You know, it just means if you don't want to go into any of the big towns or villages, you can pretty much just live off the land. And then obviously you can hunt animals and stuff for meat, but it is quite hard to find animals in this game, I tend to find. Unless you're playing on kind of servers or with settings that increase the amount of wildlife. But at the vanilla settings, yeah, it can be quite difficult. I tend to find that if I hear an animal when I'm out in the wild, oh, an onion yet, cool. I'll usually try and hunt it if I've got like a rifle. It's sometimes a little bit tedious with an improvised bow. Although the tracking system for the animals is quite cool. You can track the animals by following blood trails and footprints and stuff like that. Or paw prints, actually. They're not feet on animals, are they? They're paws. Or hooves, depending on the type of animal it is. But you know what I mean. Let's not split hairs here, eh? I can hear more puppets off in the distance. Nothing useful in here yet. Oh, looks like there might be a garlic there. Let's check the taste. Spoiled here. We're not going to eat that. It's going to make us feel ill if we eat that. Nothing in the rubbish bags that's useful, really. Now, there was a cork in that bag. A wine cork, which means you could potentially craft a floater or whatever you want to call them. Bobbers, wherever you're from. So a float or a bobber to use for fishing. So we could potentially make improvised fishing gear to go off and fish, but I ain't bothered about that right now. We're nowhere near the coast. No point. Sometimes these trees will have fruit on them, like apples and stuff like that. Nothing this time around. These look like little convenience stores. You can sometimes find some good stuff in here. Look, there's another jacket. Spitfire jacket. They're okay. They've got quite a decent amount of inventory space. Keep us a bit warmer as well. I mean, we're inside at the moment, which means we're going to be a bit warmer. But if we, or when we go back outside, it's going to keep our body temperature up. Sometimes you get a box of 9mm ammo in those saves in these stores, but not this time around. Oh, what's this? Some sort of juice. Grapefruit juice. Great. Let's have a quick look at the... Yes, that's good to drink. Let's have a quick look at the stats for that. So, give us some carbs, some sugars. So we want to keep our sugar level balanced. Sugar's not too bad at the moment though, so yeah, we're alright for now. About the parsnips. Dietary fibre, some sugars, some carbs. I mean, some of these will give us like vitamins as well. Some of them will give you more vitamins than others in terms of, you know, the type of food it is. So, you know, you can really geek out on some of the dietary elements in the game, which I think is pretty cool. You know, having all the macronutrients, vitamins and minerals that you need to manage. It's pretty cool. Now, I don't know if some things really do give you kind of a lot of debuffs at the moment in the game. I know they're still working on a lot of these systems. Pumpkin. Let's have a look. Now you sometimes have quite a lot of water spoiled here. I ain't going to eat that. Oh, jeans. I think these are going to be better than the inmate trousers we got on. Let's have a look. Let's take our stone knife back actually before I forget, just in case we need that. Yeah, so there's definitely more space. And they've got 3 warmth on them, so what did the inmate pants have on warmth wise? 2. So they're not as warm as the jeans. So the jeans are definitely better. Not only though warmer, they've got more inventory space. We'll keep the inmate pants for now because we could always break them down into rags if we needed to. Alright, let's move to the next one. No, actually, no, I wanted to check these little things. Sometimes there's food in these. Now you see, look, box of almonds. We could have missed that. So it says they're slightly off. If we eat one, it's not saying we've got food repulsion, so they're not too off at the moment. They're going to make us ill, and we will get a little bit of goodness out of those. So I think they're quite good for fibre. We'll keep hold of the fire drill for now. We did craft that earlier to make the campfire before we started the video, just to get warm. If we need to make another fire, we've got another 2 uses on that. There's a puppet there. Not spotted us yet though, so we'll try and avoid for now. There's a few more buildings around the back here. Let's have a look in this little barn. Nothing useful here. Looks like another shop of some sort here. No foods. The cupboard was bare. Yeah, there's nothing in those toilets in these shops really. Can definitely hear more puppets over there. Oh crap. That sounds really close. He sounds really close. I think he's upstairs. Let's get out. Sometimes it's best to get outside like this and yeah, get a headshot on them through the window. I tend to find that works quite well for me against these puppets early on in the game with the bow. Actually, it works with any weapon, obviously, but if you've got a more powerful weapon, then you can take them on when they're a little bit closer. Any bullets in there? No. Ooh, nice big bottle of lime soda. So again, not great for you, full of sugar, but you will get some carbs from it. And the thing is about these big bottles like that is you can fill them up with water. If we find like a well or a water pump that has water in it, we can fill them up with water once we've drank what's in it. So they come in handy. Now this one's dry, not really anything really other than that. So yeah, let's just double check, make sure we haven't forgot anything. Nope. Right, let's move on. A few garages here. We'll check these for tools. Sometimes you can find vehicles in these garages as well. And I've just got to be careful that puppet doesn't get triggered. It's quite a good distance away from us at the moment. So I just spotted a crowbar here. So the crowbars you can use as a melee weapon if you want, but the reason why I'm picking that up is because we can use it to pry open lockers. So you know I was saying earlier, oh that's not bad, a sharpening stone and some duct tape for crafting. You know I was saying earlier that you can find screwdrivers and craft like lockpicks from bobby pins and things like that to be able to unlock these lockers. Well, if you don't have any of those on you but you've got a crowbar, you can actually crowbar open some of those lockers. So it does take a lot longer than lock picking, but still a good way to be able to sometimes get into some of these lockers to get some of the better loot that may be inside them. There's like a shovel there, but we're not looking to bury anything anytime soon. Gunpowder, that'll come in handy maybe for lighting a fire if we need to. More thread. Yeah, so all we've got to do is find a needle, or if we do hunt an animal, we can craft the bone needle from the bone of the animal. It means we can repair our clothing if we need to. I've got a gas can in here. Let's just have a look and see how much gas is in it. 6%, not a lot, but if we find a vehicle, it might be enough just to get the vehicle up and running. Safety pin, yeah, we'll take that, can be crafted into a lockpick. Pirate eye patch, arrgh, let's put that on, just for fun. This shirt, let's equip it. It's just another layer. It's got more space in it than our inmate top. Let's just put this out here so we can see it and remember where it is. Boink. Right, let's have a quick look in this building here. No clothing or anything in there. You're kind of looking for a bum bag really, or fanny pack, if that's what you call it where you're from. Oh, coffee. Yeah, so you sometimes find like bum bags in the washing machines, so it's always worth checking. Again, just more inventory space. Right. Everything looks pretty well balanced at the moment, so we're all good with our digestion right now. Or rags. Nada. Trucker jackets are quite good. It's a little bit damaged. Oh yeah, it's the same amount of inventory space pretty much as the Spitfire jacket, but I've got one less square in it because it's damaged. Spitfire jacket's in better condition, so we'll keep that. Definitely searched all these, yeah. Can still hear that puppet. Oh, she's a little bit closer. Oh yeah, she just spotted us. Let's see if we can take her out with the axe through the window. She's a bit ugly, isn't she? Oh no, I can't. Okay, I'm hitting the window frame, so I can't quite seem to hit her through the window with that axe, so just use our trusty bow for now. Get our arrow back. Couldn't see it for some reason. Sometimes, like in the vicinity, when you press tab, you can see your arrows, but it just depends on the position that the puppets fall when you... Oh, look. Oh, nice. It's a dirt bike. Looks pretty banged up, but we'll check that in a minute. Let's kill this puppet here. So there's a couple of things in this shop as well. Let's just quickly check the shop, and then we'll check that bike. So we've got soy sauce. Doesn't really give you much, I don't think. It gives you some protein, but sodium, yeah, a lot of salt in soy sauce. Might be able to use it for certain recipes for cooking. Soy sauce 100%. Let's just drink a little bit of that. The thing is, it doesn't show you sodium levels, I don't think, in your macronutrients, which is a bit odd. We'll take the sea salt because that's good for cooking if we get meat, but I've always wondered that. I just thought, like, you know, too much sodium or salt in your diet is very bad for you, although we do need salt, obviously, but you have too much salt, it's bad for you, but it doesn't show salt or sodium in the macronutrients, which is a bit odd. I would have thought maybe they'll add that. Maybe it's been missed, or... Yeah, let's pick up this bike anyway. Let's have a quick look and see how bad it is. Let's get on it and check this. So... battery's not too bad, fuel's relatively low, and the health's relatively low, but we can put a little bit of fuel in the bike from this can. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring the bike into the garage here so we know where it is. Add this fuel to it. This might be enough fuel to get us to like the next town. So we've got a way out of here now without having to worry about going on foot. I don't think there's any petrol stations around here though. So, but you never know, we might find another fuel can. There might be more garages in this town. We've only searched a small section. Let's have a quick look in here. Battery, cement, no. Use that for building, but I ain't building anything right now. Anything useful? No. Whoa! Holy crap, wow. He was hiding in the corner there. He took us by surprise. Luckily he was slow getting up off the floor. There's like a church over there. There we go. Whew. Lucky that he can't climb through windows. Right, there was only a few more boxes left to search in here anyway, so it's not too bad. Okay. Oh, there's a water pump. And from my experience, these are usually empty. It's worth checking just in case. Yeah, it's empty. Oh well. I think we're right for drink at the moment. We've got a couple of bottles, haven't we? So. Oh no. It sounds like there's another puppet maybe in here. Yeah, upstairs, I think. Doesn't sound like she wants to come down. Where is she? Here she is. Yeah, we should be able to get her. Boom. Nice. When they first spot you, there's a little bit of a delay before they run at you. So if you're kind of already ready to go with your shot, you can usually take them out before they run at you. It's when they get up close and personal and start whacking you and you haven't had a chance to, say, draw your weapon or your bow that you usually take the damage. Definitely checked all these, didn't we? Oh no, not the fridge. We got rudely interrupted. Sunflower seeds. Yeah, they're quite good for nutrients. And they're okay to eat. Not off. That's great either. Cooking pot. Good to cook different food recipes in, but they're massive. They take up a lot of space. And the whole hiking pack's already nearly full. I know there's a lot of junk in there that we don't necessarily need to keep, but it's stuff that we might need, so we'll keep hold of some of that stuff for now. I can't really see myself really doing a lot of cooking. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to rest up here for a bit and call this the end of episode 1. And if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more Pure Survival on the channel, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on episode 2. Thanks for watching.